Yemawa kwaba, Batusan Hotel. Where dear, when the best, fie de fie. Yetia kwai okumase, just so a charcoal, a quadrabin quine so. One home Joe here yenti. You whatever a hot way dianai. Ye normal, standard, deluxe standard, and now executive room, sir. The more Wi-Fi, with DSTV, Yankanja air conditioner, a room beer mo. Ye was chef a kukudama. Ye won't corner share beer, Ubenya. Ye what you share mobia. The motto, a yes, up there for quinso. Ye were a good year more who to be a cassia. And to me funny pa opinion. Ye was saying wood true, ye the man high. Phone was 0244 6544 58 0246 505327 and 0241 418645. The emails here, e4tusanhotel@gmail.com. Tucson Hotel,
Contra 56 ambulance and 200,000 V8 signature. I know what nutrition, we know vex enough, oh. We know vex enough. We know vex enough, oh. We know vex enough. There is sometimes so much I wonder why we know vex. They have pushed our every button, now I wonder what is next. Monkey they walk, baboon they chop, baboon they chop. Them no they stop, so them belly pop, but them still they chop. Them go they chop, all the money, ooh. No development with the money, ooh. No libby, no laba laba. I swear, this time we don't go take them yawa. No gangalea, one bagawaya. I swear, this time they go sell our dawa. You say you be food soldier, they follow party matter. They carry oga dirty water, present in every danger. At the end of this year, wait till you get my dear. 1-2-1-2 radio culture. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, people, for doing the tuning in. Everybody listening on www.ghnewsnow.com. Thank you very much. Salute. Everybody listening on modernghana.com. Same wise. Special thanks goes to everybody who has taken the trouble to go to Google Play Store and the Apple Store. And not the Apple Store yet, let me clarify. But to those who have taken the trouble to go to Google Play Store and downloaded the app, Radio Culture, and are listening through the platform, we also say thank you very much. Now, welcome to this edition of Weekend Editorial. As you know, my name never changed. Kwesi is son. Back on emphasis on the son, the way my grandmother would say it. Yes, indeed. I come in peace. I come not to please, as you would know. And first of all, let me also apologize for being a few minutes late for the show. We had to transition kind of from Ghana. You know, there was a live stream going on. And for those of you who may not know yet, every weekend we have a live stream of at least 2 hours featuring productions or videos or whatever video content we have gathered for the week, right? We do a 2-hour live stream. It goes live on Facebook. It also goes live on YouTube, so you can time it. This is a combination of all the content that we are creating, right? We have content like Sankofa, which is very educational. You should see today's edition. Oh, if you haven't seen it, please go on our YouTube page. Go check it out. Nana Nimo Akrepim Bafo Ajenodia. The dinner de me who body smooth power. Hey, this name I always fluffy. It's like 5 names in one. Nana Nimo Bafo Ajenim. The being you Shusima Fluffy Bibo. Akrepim Ajenodia. Okay, yes, full of knowledge. And he actually presented an episode today on Akan body language. It's amazing knowledge, bro. You should see it. And we are doing everything to have that transcribed or subtitled into English so that non-Akan speakers can even access that as educational material. There's also shows like Rep Your Hood. There's shows like what you call that one there? Street Parliament, you know, and stuff like that. There's, you know, and there's also a hot showbiz what's the other one called? No, Showbiz, not Showbiz. GH Filler Zone. What am I doing? GH Filler Zone, hosted by yours truly, the man called Synergy. So this is all this is coming from the Ghana side of things, right? And of course, I'm also contributing content. So you would also see shows like Ital Mokase, which is a show basically about Ghanaian vegan cooking or African vegan cooking. Of course, we slant into other sides, and it also has an element of home gardening, right? Let me not say too much about that. That's not what we're here today. Today, we're here for the editorial, and today we have two things on the table. Number one, where do we start from?
At the present, not every danger. At the end of this year, waiting you get my dear. As it get the country, that these people they don't care. We know vex enough. No vex enough. If you think about these things, your head goes scatter. If you think about these things, your head goes scatter. Honestly,
my apologies. I had to do that. I had to sneeze. Yes, oh my God. All right. Okay. All right. Yes, my apologies. First of all, yes, I had, I had to sneeze. Sorry. All right. So, two issues. Issue number one: can a Japan's supporters show him true leadership? Let me put it that way. Okay. But everybody knows what I'm talking about. But that's how I'll caption it. Can a Japan's followers give him a lesson in true leadership? Okay, that's the first issue. We'll go into details on that. Second issue: Dr. Timothy Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia paid a visit to chiefs. I've seen two different videos of him before, basically chiefs. And as I learned, he's been touring the whole country. And I think it got to the point where he had to visit the chiefs because he rounded up his 16 region tour. He rounded that up in Kumasi, which is, of course, their home base. Makes a lot of sense to do that. Whoever their strategists are, I'll give you that at least. But hold tight because I'll come to you in a second. All right? With all this thing. Anyways. Right. And let's also rope in that. Let's not forget also the artists, please. Let's make that a side note. Let's not forget that before we go. Let's also touch on the artists who are jumping on the gravy train, Guru and all these people. Let's talk about that, okay? Because sometimes you hear people say, "Oh, na penny for ne die hwamo, penny for ne die hwamo." Guru or ye penny? Guru or ye penny? Youth no idiom who hwamo at this time, because at this time somebody like John Dramani Mahama, who is not a youth, is standing up to secure the future for the youth, and you have people like Guru. God knows how much they paid him to jump on the train and be like, "Yeah, this year, all this folly going on." Anyway, and start here. I was just still introducing the subject, and that's even a side issue. That's a side issue. There are two main issues. Number one, can the Japan's followers show him true leadership? Number two, Bawumia and Enamors chiefs. He Enamors chiefs. And our chiefs, no, share you bet me back to slavery days. So because chiefs, no, some of them, and I won't say all of them, because we of course know of people like Kwame Ansa, Nana Kwame Ansa. We know of chiefs like, and I forget, please pardon me, those in the north who built the Salaga wall, the chiefs that Black Rasta was telling me about, who made it a crime to even stand and speak with who only say suspected slavery that cried Jahonoma Oasem, right? There were chiefs like that. But there were also a lot of chiefs who were the reason why slavery happened in the first place. We cannot run away from that. A lot of the times when I meet with my Jamaican friends, my African American friends, my black people from the diaspora, and that issue comes up about you sold us into slavery, and I'm trying to argue that no, that's a misconception. And then the issue of the you're kind of saying the complicity, the role of the chiefs come in now. Because it's a fact that the chiefs had a part to play in how slavery even happened in the first place. Some of them. And today we're seeing the same thing. But that was the second issue, not the first. So let's kick back to the first issue, all right? We're back in a second.
Never. Nasa kasi mutini free anameboa. Esgracia wa yonko waje wa moa. Ekwani ne yakango matiatra ubu niego masumo maino nani ap bibisa kebi mami kebi ye adwuma. Kura ni egu adwuma bibisa.
Kebi mami kebi ye adwuma ni. Ye bisa o. Kebi mami kebi no ye adwuma. Ye bisa. Okay, here it is. First issue no, Kennedy Japan's followers show him true leadership. Yentisa audio way. Yababaka will break it down into several bits and pieces, and then we'll move on from there. Let's hear this one. We'll be right back.
In fact, we have a change for you.
Listen closely.
Radio culture. MGH reggae dancer. 56 ambulance and 200
Okay, we all heard it for ourselves. Soundbite be say not a it doesn't even need any more commentary or any more editorial, right? Because we all heard everything for ourselves. But for those who may not be following Ghana's politics that closely, no. And let's get a clear understanding what is going on in this scenario. First of all, and I don't want to spend too much time on, because there are other issues to look at. So I've segmentized this thing in such a way, so I'm going to look at only certain parts of this story. Other parts of this story is way too obvious to be discussed. All right. But let's do this. Let's first of all look at Kennedy Japan as presidential material. Let's look at that closely. Because that freak of circumstance, with all due respect, and I respect Kennedy Japan. I actually have, okay, so here, full disclosure, I have family who is very close to him in terms of working. Let me just leave it at that. If you need more information, I'm a journalist. I've made my disclosure. You come to me, I'll supply the details. But that's all I'll say about that. All right, because it's not even like that should prevent me from saying what I want to say. Here's what I want to say. Let's face it. Kennedy Japan, somebody who stood on radio and called a certain president, Kwasia, Wejimi, and all of these things. So let's take it. Say Kennedy Japan be year president. And kaya we kwenye say yenso be call radio so akoko katen so ye Kwasia Wejimi ana. Is that decorous? If not, Kennedy Japan had no business running for president. If yes, and so they are, then we have lowered the standards, my lord. Good God, then we have lowered the standards. Because there's a reason why you're choosing Nipa Bakope. Say their taxes, enina, ebe propeno, no one representing enina. There's a reason why. And if you don't know, let me tell you, there are systems, there are governance systems where there's no one particular leader. There is. Do your research, you'll find out. As we decided, say, okay, to represent all of us, no, yebe Nipa Bako, ye bi biya shenimu, ye the spirit, ye bi biya shenimu. Back in the day, no, not the kings of nations, so they were called by the names of the nations. The king of England was called Britain. What's he here? Shakespeare's poetry and stuff like that. They would use the name of the country, to refer to the leader of the country. Why? Because he's the embodiment of everything. What you say? And he said, the Bibia Esheni Pamusa Ombeya a president, and also be a leader. I just say, all the things that we cherish, all the things that we value. But here came a certain Kennedy Japan, who all of a sudden had mass appeal. Now let's go to that. Yemfat's presidential issue into your kind way, because that's all I'm going to say about it. I did not think it was presidential material. But that said, no, how did he become so popular? And that is where the issue really is. That is where the issue really is. It's because the standards were so lowered. It's because things fell so badly out of sort. Say, people like that became, especially coming from the party which was messing up. That's no but yeah, share at the counter no cancer no, because all of a sudden that has changed, and so that begs for us to interrogate Kennedy Japan's motives. That begs for us to interrogate the circumstances under which he's doing what he's doing. Because this is the same person, Obeka say, Bantuma sit no, send a brother name Winia, yebeti sounds. Yente sounds biao, but to brother Nisusu and winning. So what are you doing? Are you just messing with our minds? Are you acting? Are you playing? Are you just there? So okay, fine. They say, all right, you just play to the gallery. Because when you say mess up. And you are one of the smart ones within the NPP. Who early say, for the NPP to survive even an iota of campaign glory, they have to act as if they are disappointed with themselves. Nana Akufo-Addo, I cry for you, brother. Akufo-Addo, I feel sorry for you, because right now, we need be to any Gabriel Chidakon. More sacrificial lambs, and I think that you made yourself the sacrificial lambs because you are in charge. But Mati Bibi says smoke of our strategies, and the strategists decided to let your positing be as if say the party itself is disappointed with the party itself, but the party itself can do better. And Bawumia, what kind of nonsense? You paid for this? You paid somebody to come to Ghana to tell you this? Says how they will be Juma. And now your friend is saying, Samuel will friend of strategy, A joke, my brother. Because to quote Black Rasta, for Bawumia to win this election, you have to put all of us to sleep. Black Rasta, that statement should be etched in gold and put somewhere that water would not touch. Framed and put somewhere in some museum or put on some tall monument so that future generations will see that we were dissatisfied with the kind of nonsense that is going on, that is tagged as government. And we're even more upset that these people have the audacity, the impudence, the sheer temerity to come to tell us, say, they want to perpetuate that by installing Bawumia back in office. You have to put all of us to sleep. Ghanaians, home and abroad. You have to put all of us to sleep. And not just that, Black Rasta, since someone put here to sleep here, they should also go and get all their families. And let me add on to that, Black Rasta. Let them also go get all the ancestors and their descendants so they never burn them. After they put us to sleep, no, if they are not able to raise all of their family, past and present, and future, there's no way Bawumia is going to win no election, no chief. Out of here with that nonsense. No chief. I'm going into details because really and truly, no. Why do chiefs now you timi jina ho eka me amiti hey me can rempo say yes me say and can go parliament impo na can ma chiefs nim fanye and ye ma chiefs and form the legislative body way chia ma twa san me boa me na me kan me boa until we reform this the chieftaincy institution in Ghana, no the me kan ye no me boa. Because the chieftaincy system as it is right now cannot represent the people, does not represent the people. Because if you represent the people, all the mess that's going on. Now, as a chief, now in front of me, now oh yeah, Bawumia. Where is the sense? Okasa, one obet me akosana kwa kutia wankasa papa wo. But one can so no more peace, eh? It's yebeka asem no asem ye wi ani asa akoja kopa ye papa chose papa nana ye pa chaw yanka ni ye that time no. But also the focus is on Kennedy Japan right now, right? Now let me go ahead and let's break it down and let's why is it even a good idea for Kennedy Japan to be on the campaign way? Until I make say nipa kro mo kofa ni fi South Africa say hwan is a company krona yetu amuska no. MPP, you are wasting your money and you are wasting Ghanaian taxpayers' money because that is our money that you stole, that you are using for all that nonsense. So quit that because that's not even going to do nothing. Most years can na mo chicha country ni mo at least I'm off nyaka twice water no. Na mo years can na somebody kokutia some useless bill like getting some South African firm who come and tell you say this is the strategy to use. You are sick. And let me tell you why. Why is it a bad idea? Moti the guy in the car, or say, or no dear, Kennedy Japan dear, oh dear, papa, call so you see, a bit more judgment okay because or you can say. And tell I didn't make me on a contempt though. For those of you who don't understand, who attempt me womb, Kennedy Japan on the campaign trail when they were you can say campaigning for the primaries, said every Kennedy Japan is the one reason why we got certification said this government is actually corrupt. Because every time when you hear it from the positioner, it's just another day, right? Opposition will always say the government is corrupt. Always. John Mahama was in government, they tagged him incompetent. They were always calling him all type of names. So it's normal. And to say, so be, it is a NDC 4 say Akufo-Addo a corrupter. It's normal. Now, here comes Kennedy Japan. Then Chem from Insuase telling you, say, Obombo Chiche is dead under the water. That's how significant Kennedy Japan is. And that is why he got a massive following. That's how he got a movement. That thing was a movement of people who just could not bring themselves to. And listen, we cannot hide our heads in the sand. There are people ucho muti na usan so ni back. They will never vote for the NDC for all different manners, all different range of reasons. Some of them emotional, and so be dealing with an emotional issue. You can never Nullify that. Leave them to deal with their emotional issue. Obia or no time, Rollins time. Soldier for harassing them, mommy. They feel some way say, I didn't say me to my Rollins party. Charlie, it will be hard for you to get them to vote for Rollins. So leave those people alone. They're not stupid. They're just dealing with an emotional thing. And they know they are there. But that is why, and there are such people who will also hate corruption. And there are such people are more MPP because of that to start with. Thinking said the MPP will be, it is who all the rot that's in there. No more so be Kennedy Japan out as an alternative within the same culture that they believe in. This is how significant Kennedy Japan was. But it seems he did not understand that role. I'm say Ofani say, may you famous, may you popular, may Kennedy Japan a compreko. No, sir. It wasn't you. It was the idea. That idea could have, your friend is saying, Kwabene Japan, another useless guy, could have latched on that opportunity. He came out like some idiot backing lamb all over, and now you see him again raising Bawumia's hand. Same person was saying all these nonsense things about Bawumia again. Politicians, I'm talking about you, Kwabena Japan. What sell career? These people, Akufo-Addo was 7 in careers. Kennedy Japan was one of the smart ones. Wama Akufo-Addo and any career. But on one can say, because Okasan Semni Ninano a man year who he is. No, Kennedy Japan was Kennedy Japan, the firebrand, whoever he is, businessman, whatnot. So he was that before, you can't take it away from him. But what made him all of a sudden such a huge cultural icon? Say, I'm not fulfilled, say, oh, yeah, presidential material, in spite of everything that we know. Why? Because he stood for something that people believed in. Now, all of a sudden, you Kennedy Japan, or Kwakujina Bawumia chance yen twaba and fama Mahamudu Bawumia, the same person now, or car say, or Bakwako pa, you can't saying, and you're not kind of Bakwako pa Muhammad Chono, but he actually said some things close to that. That he said things about Muhammad which wasn't true, and then we compared to Bawumia and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. And then you come back to tell us that we should vote for Bawumia. Kennedy Japan, when you do that at once, you are telling us that your word holds zero value. That's what you're saying. Person just say your words hold zero value. O can't say be a me and find yejuma because a chinabit me can be before. After all, you na yet happy. Any who so be catch says a Ralph. As your friend is saying, no. So when we need elections, no ban to my but it sounds. And so it sounds bia. In terms of first starting who Suban says, oh yeah, Obia who can send just to. And we could go on and on and on and on and on and cite examples of things that you have said that people have come back to say, including Sana Senior Chief, yeah, over Tina Radio, so back say, Obi or your chief be or what you kind of saying, Kaswaho, say, hold no baby, Kukuni Pie and whatnot. The guy came on an interview and defended himself and says, okay, the Japan crowd bani fee. Ebe ascertaining for yourself said, no, on just such a person. You didn't find it necessary to come out and render. You're kind of saying a rejoinder. Say, I said now me kind of crisis, and you just left it to pass. The guy is struggling to redeem his reputation. Okay, say my engine the Canada Japan. You have blown it, bro. You have blown it. You have blown it because you would have been a natural heir for the NPP. She said, I don't know anymore. She said, all it takes is for another smart person within the NPP, to use that formula. Easy. Yes, Wuska. So what? There are people who can rally money, not their own money, campaign money from other people. But there are people within the NPP who say a brass will say also a redeeming party, Party not say a do point be I was say obi it's me redeeming party, And that person is not Bawumia. Bawumia is hardly uniting his own campaign team, let alone the NPP, let alone Ghana. Nipa no beba be JMPP nesi hono. Enye Bawumia. It could have been Kennedy Japan against all the odds. And honestly, one mess it up. Now, one mudinichi and I say, Nana, And they put it softly. You say they still have an affinity for the guy. The guy said, "Oh, the kakache say be a say ni say." Nanka yehu say, "Okay, be a party ni I was say, but still, with all the gains that you have made, Kennedy Japan, which to me you did not really deserve, because you, sir, are a great or maybe a great businessman. I think you are a great businessman. I've seen some of your businesses. I've heard about some of them. My brother was telling me about some huge fish pond being at there now, Shanty Hobby or something like that, and things like that. I think say you are a great businessman. But you see, every country needs all its people. Stay in business. Stay in business. Why don't we make Kennedy Japan one of our big, you're kind of saying, business magnates? Empower him to spread that knowledge, and get people, rather than wanting to be president. When you do not represent us properly, Kennedy Japan, the president, back in the day when we were at Sahara TV, there was this guy, my brethren, Fungai, and Zimbabwe was, those times, Mugabe times. Now Zimbabwe were going for an election. How did that to go find a video of Morgan Sanjirai saying underwear just to embarrass him? The word underwear. That's the standard. What I say? Just the word underwear. As some no kind of cranomantil, no kind of language, but the word underwear popped in there. That video was trending because hey, Morgan Sanjirai say underwear. One can say draw sumpo. Underwear. And so we have somebody who's on radio says, President, we Jimmy for you and you want to be president. Massa, obey president and on a daily basis. I'm not for our catchers. Oh, you Jimmy for me, baby shoe fee. No, how we sit here. Because Charlie, in Sembi or Honoma, we should also see a pay money. Because Kennedy Japan, you have thrown principles to the dogs. You've thrown principles to the dogs. But you are who you are right now. No, not Kennedy Japan, the rich man, not Kennedy Japan, the politician, not Kennedy Japan, the businessman, but Kennedy Japan, the cultural icon now. We used to say now, even people like Kwesi Pratt are amazed at how you did it. No, you became that because you espoused a principle and you have failed to hold that principle. And then I was hearing something about some press statement. I hope it's not true. I heard that thing on YouTube, but YouTube these days, anybody can put anything there. I haven't cross-checked it, so I won't even go too deep into that. But I hope to high heaven say, and yet we can't paint him and release this statement because it's childish as hell. It's juvenile as hell. It's infantile as all hell. It is a more number there. It even makes the matter worse. You never Kennedy Japan right? Second issue is because remember we have a side issue. But as we round up, now let me also look at why it's not even in the interest of the NPP to have Kennedy Japan on their campaign trail. It's not in the interest of the NPP, no, right? Whoever the strategists were, no, who's your strategy? That's a wound to me, What to me strategize in the area? Say, okay, no, do my mom phone to bet me a bomb one a basink or funny those things. Yeah, those type of organization, me sure so the man will bet me. But yan drain, yan far drain yan share what is really pragmatic. That's a wound to me. A part of that now is questionable because check this out. Say, okay, say okwakofa Kennedy Japan about the campaign one. So mu nipa or mu drain do a chance say forget about that. A bit backfire, it will have a backlash, and that's exactly what's happening. Let me explain this. Those people know or more echo D Kennedy Japan with like I've said, like I've stated, they did so on principle. They did so because they believe that Kennedy Japan was a digression from the rot, from the nonsense that was going on in the government. And if Kennedy Japan comes back and says, Omunkotoma Bawumia. A few unprincipled ones may do that, but the bulk majority of them will not do that. As was stated in that audio na yete, no some people say about chemo, a bit me about chemo, but for the sake of time, because it's a long piece, right? But if you heard the guy actually says, Kennedy Japan, no, so say, or your MPP Nina Sobekwa campaign, fair enough. But Omo dear, Omo Ntoma Bawumia ne Entoma Nechina, which means what? Which means says, nipa na mo person mo kofa Kennedy Japan, Emma no be attract you more into your fold, no. Our failure or honor, it's not working. We're back on the campaign trail, all right. But nipa na indi ne chiamba. And it's not Kennedy Japan's one vote that you need, though. Right? You need the people now, or the more dinner or influence or most. And as uncle for no more akachi musisi, which you should have anticipated. Say, Omon Toma Bawumia and then Toma Bawumia China, even if Kennedy Japan is on the campaign trail. So it's not even in your own interest. MPP, somebody Kennedy Japan be demoted because you're annoying people. And guess what? It's actually having a reverse effect because I saw another video. I can say the Maya Crunch or Kwakotwa Mahama. And your strategist, no, say South Africa for na monko musika. Na monko chichan was in South and I baby sabi. I see not there's somebody call ya amfa. Mon try I see South. Oh, I see Central, oh baby. When they be born from in comfort, would that be J? Yeah. Because at least it's kind of chicha no Ghana or then I make a level for baby. I want the Akakutia South African strategists. And over more sad nonsense ideas way. So go for Kennedy Japan, Ebra campaign trail. As if so by now, Mama Kanya be ditch. But say hey, unity. What about Bawumia so asem? Or say hey, and Kambom, ya Kambom, ufinim in your dreams. In your dreams, Dr. Timothy. Kennedy Japan and Casano Janoka when the body language, Anna. The body language no the Jano cry. I say it's actually with they're holding a gun to his head. God knows what drew him out. I personally feel say he feels says one ba out. A do or no so turn if there will ever be a turn. I'm for because hey, a party no, because anybody can also come out of the party and say or no so no one yarding. And so or no so the faction within the party. And to the Kennedy Japan, to be honest with you, was caught between a rock and a hard place. He had to show up, let's face it. On his principle of membership to the party, he had a certain obligation to show up. But our good strategists are, and for instance, to me, I rally the base, no. Now what can't nyansa sem what can't say to assume to akumemu actor mutrim so that even when he jumps on that Bawumia's campaign trailer, he's maintaining his base and the faith they have in him. Right now, the faith is waning because people think, say, nah. How can you tell us this and tell us, Kennedy Japan, and Abeka and say, they are stealing Ghana like there's no tomorrow. And now, since Yensan voting mobile, no more saying stealing Ghana like there's no next week. Are you serious? But like I've said, it was a hard situation for him. It really was a hard situation for him, So, hey, it's not, it's the MPP, like I've said, now let me round up with this, right? Let me just round up with this and then we'll move on to the second issue. The NPP needs time to reset. The NPP has to reset. The NPP has to admit, been focus a bit on Mokomo so wo ton yare a na onya no adru se sakasa no and a sense work as a BS so wo do yare you can be similar, right? But basically what I'm saying is it starts with admitting that there's a problem. It starts with admitting that there's a problem. And if you're a smart person, me MPP ni and I'm a patriotic Ghanaian, then come here and say, I would like to from now start organizing for the next 4 years. Fortunately for you, John Mahama has a limit for 4 years. And in 4 years, it will be pretty much an open ground. It will be pretty much an open ground. Whereby if you have people like Kennedy Japan, who adom yenina ama ono so bi aka no ama Ghana for abegina tum so obetimi di omanpanyin ama na yeye na afei waba abegina ho a wasai ne ho saa no a maybe we should look at Kofi Cranting or Cheddar. Hey, man can ye cry? Man can ye cry? You know, anyhow, that's it for the Kennedy Japan issue. Let me just reset real quick and then we'll be right back to discuss the second issue. Bawumia and Enamors, the Chiefs.
Never. Esgracia wa yonko waje wa mo ekwan ni ne yaka go matiatra bubu nue go maso mo man no na ne abibisa kebi mami kebi ye adwuma o ma yeti mu ka no kura ni egu adwuma bibisa tipeni fu e go mo watema na die mu apa no mo wodi genchima de bia motemoto so na mo hwe ne yekoso media for bosso enso ye mo mo chemso krono na doso egudi abroso kita hye proye o man ne nkoso.
We know vex enough, oh. We know vex enough. We know vex enough, oh. We know vex enough. You be serial caller. Your mouth is full of baller. Always insulting elder. Hungry man, they defend master. At the end of this month, oh, no food for baby's mouth, oh. Wifey, they scream and shout, oh. Everything is going south, oh. Meanwhile, oh God.
All right. Dr. Timothy went to go visit some chiefs and also rounded up his 16 region tour at the Malaysia Palace. Now, in Semba Kuminubi, I course no. Let's look at it carefully. Na yembeshe and non so hon asem na yenka. Na sa you say no. You see, this is why we're really we're going to work hard to interface with the Ghana team so we can bring you visuals on the show, right? Because story be say, you know, and visuals ne kan huna osha and it will help a lot. However, the videos are on YouTube, so as you know, you can always go and find them and watch them. But Bawumia was standing before the House of Chiefs talking, and the body language of the chiefs, no. Oh my Lord. Okay. Yentewe na yembeka hwasem.
Vice presidents Ghana from independence. Unya Obia Waye Ejuma Asin Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Enti Echrese Vice President Ejuma no Mapasi. Enti mum promotini na mum president Ejuma no. Mum promotini na no. Na minko president no. Danano my division actually salvation no be pa. That's another reason I make say mummy muti sa akaniano mamia media me from day one minimadia me pese be and yes me ko honeymoon aba before me share see day one me share see aye jumano na ama obia the so me ansa media mempe corruption. Enti mejuma nyina aye clean. Enti me pese mumma message ekodi ano na menye ejuma no na obi hu se metimi a fight corruption so. Nananum they are very important ne saying usha media me be president me ko nyame adum 8 years enyesa. Na obi ba ono ko 4 years enyesa. Now, 4 years, Lydia. Some woman 4 years now, next time I will be or Independence Square, handy over. Baby, maybe a woman 4 years, sir. Just a December, you never renew me license, and yes, sir. Let me take Kaka of you. Intermediate, because we are accountable to you. So, my mom is how could you my year me who I'm a point money, I'm a samba have you, I'm a gazette, license, no money.
Okay.
No food
We never vex enough, brother. We never vex enough. We would just sit this country inside and still watching this guy going around talking like, say, you know, yabeka simbi nananom wenimo yembu nana bia enimtiao. But again, no, se natite no yawo system bia yawo ahemfo a sebi mpreduasa yenka omwasema we as na evolve you ena Ghana na yawo no ena Ghana nkwa everywhere in the world eyenkofo no a omowo oman ni mu no ena omobegye atum se yengye saa system we ntum ne yemma saa nkofo we engina ho ma yen enti ahemfo no asem na yegye atum kwam se o seni no nana seriously speaking we are running a country where we are hene na se oni nya asem a obetimi afrɛ me wa hemfie but me so metimi afrɛ wo court true or false we are hene yemfa ne se oni nya asem obetimi afrɛ me ahemfie but me so metimi afrɛ wo court. And you see, there's a fine balance, but there's a nice 10 line there. You mess with Ghanaians. You for all these 60 something years. No, we have not messed with it because in Naya was anti and say, yes, you bet just uncle for where to some way your leaders, some way your handful, or mujina homayen. But I was so monsono on their part, no, or mujitu say, monsono muye nipano. Yet is moi. Entinyebe jina ho amamo. Because truth of the matter is say kese ye engine to moi. Si say me ankasa mi krom kra mi fi no sebi me ankasa mi krom kra mi fi no. Na so hene ne kese oni me nya asem a metimi de na court. Ana me frɛ lawyer ne mbisa na. You be bisa lawyer on the next episode. But it's really very simple because he no say individual. And it is metimi sue no in his capacity as a chief in power. Metimi sue in his capacity as an individual. What has here? And on the jurisdiction, and they were even the most powerful king in Ghana, most powerful chief in Ghana. The jurisdiction, and they were baby. But we are living in a country which their jurisdiction is part of. It's a very fine thin line. That said, no, I'm saying all this to say, no, moya dena si full say enya yebeka. Without insulting you, without denigrating you, without anything. But mujina ho mayen ti se moya dena se entwasu a el see ka. Because nanano mo bochenku a mujia ho ma mo bom nsem ema Bawumia ekeka sansen wonyina tem. Mo nyina mo nche memu krom ade ba ko pa Bawumia ye wo ho no. One. Starting with all of you. Ohine bia wo bo nsem bia wo bo nsem no anu wa kire se Bawumia ayewei enti na me bo nsem. But you Jahanum say Bawumia aka kire say oh no so wo vision bi me betimi aye adwuma no o ma fa so a puppet toy boy bi o but me kan chemo with all due respect and I don't want to sound too controversial because when I mention it's yeah. But check this out really, brother. It looks as if said some of the chiefs, especially in Asante Honum Noa, you say chiefs Nashana, or why so enamored with Bawumia no. I'm someone who say, okay, Bawumia is somebody that they can have some influence on. Nana, maybe can't be a controversial part, but Mecca. See my eyes closed? Just say me who be a Mecca. Because I said me the well seka. Check this out. Bawumia ejina Asante hine enimua or kasano. Who was standing to his right? Watch a video no. Nin sani faso pe na wan ejina ho. Ebi a won hweye, meka show. Simon or say mention say send your friend no, Ashanti regional minister. Does that name ring a bell? This is the same person or say na entafo efi esremu ba omo be ye omo be gu swami. Ne ya wo omo panie, ne edware omo ansa ne de omo aba. Oh my good Lord. Member of the Mountie and I want to hear that. Simon Osei Mensa, regional minister for Ashanti region, or say na tete no say entafo efisremu ba Kumasi a ye domu begu swami na ya bo mo panie And yes, somebody yare ebe break kumase for. Ne ye jare omo. And yes, somebody omo fi ebeba besani kumase for. And sana ya momo aba kumase abe swan noma. Ono na no jina Bawumia and sanifa so pe. Ewa something hene a palace. What is going on? What is going on? Anything I make sure say. Saa nkɔfoɔ no nyinaa no, it looks as if say ɔmo afa say okay na do down kwa deɛ ɔno ade agenda by for no ankasa they couldn't manage that guy. He beat them to the game. Nti no Bawumia deɛ na me di osɛ me sa din Simon osɛ hwan no edin be mu because me pɛ sɛ me kyɛ mo sɛ saa nkɔfoɔ mo fu sɛ ntafoɔ yɛ nkwasiafoɔ because ɔmo fu sɛ oh Bawumia deɛ nso aba be brand ho say oh me papa hwan den ɔno deɛ oh some day because me otumfo eka kyerɛ Akufo-Addo otunifo say enye ne na obepɛ sika o the way was so yen say also wuji udin Akufo-Addo je ni din oji din so otumfo de wetunifo ewie Akufo-Addo amfa nye hwe and they couldn't touch him but omo ni say Bawumia de anya otumfo fe no ka say meba saa me komfa no chi ya nka me pesika ye ya still ye ni ye mame Bawumia beye enti ni dia no na mode omo kra shame enti say me hu so mo budget ne so a that is the only thing that makes sense to me otherwise no why the bloody bleep would you achieve say John Mahama wababesi kejetia esi wasase so John Mahama we see hospitals and kofu in fie nwotwe omwan bie mpo na wakom John Mahama wababesi why roads John Mahama we see e-blocks all over John Mahama why Syria John Mahama we see regional hospitals all over John Mahama why all these things no your best keep no ni akwa akugina say yan toma Bawumia until yeah Bawumia because like I've said there are people who vote out of emotional reasons. You cannot change it. You can't change it. A race war a race. In case you don't know, a race war a race. What I say? There are people who will never vote for the NDC. Until let's leave them. But yena sebi ye ni emotional issues biano. Ye di pragmatism ene to abano. Moma ya dwinye dwuma. Yenjina honi hu se ahemfo no they do not represent us. Because ahemfo no represent ya enka ye nya scenario a ohene eda benz mu. Nani subjects eton no ma wakejiti ani echesi omo. Do you hear me? Ahemfo no they don't represent us. Skana aban we wiani nyina no yenim de omo de ye o. Nti say all of a sudden e be so ohene bi jan say yen tumo bia yenim de akoso me de men ka hwe o. I'm saying say we don't know what has gone on behind closed doors and son ohene no ebeka kire me say mimbu meningu aban fo tantan we akoso so na me san kongo jan say me kwa kwato aba ma Bawumia ma adwin nye adwuma na no yesremo mani die mu yesremo there's a way around these things ubetimi agiska no but wano asema obeka no ebe yehwam kakra na say wo tagina pen ebe yeti say dia wo enye fe boy mama fa cassette amo omo cassette amo so they are justified because mo de omo future and mo mortgage no nananom mo na wose mo gya honom na mo secure future for the youth no na mo ne Bawumia akwatena ase na se nkomo be na mo di ye o na mo ba be mortgage na mo ba be twister man for this na mo sande Bawumia esa be ba power abe mortgage future of the youth and mo be catch am say be mo yankwasiafo omo be cancel so mo ye right they are justified because mo your hene only because we say so, especially in Ghana because the constitution overrides every traditional authority. Sasem ya wasi yehwe ho kan na mom yen kan sem we say so crap mom yen buda de ne sere na basani ye. First and foremost, ahemfo kra no were they even supposed to be involved in politics to start with? Make us say some law bi wo ho no mo a say enu nti no ma ahemfo nka politics so enso enne ohene mu a ote ho say obu ahe party kra de aha na hye ase efi ye Clap. Maka. Asem bi on my beka on. Ena maka no papa kra no. Obeka che sebe. Uwi anu akopacho. Also twadwan ya no we twadwan. So for some question, so na so won twadwan bia so de na we twadwan be madam for buye fa no si wa. All I'm saying is no kra no ho I was here can. I come to please. I come in peace. I come not to please. I don't come as you can say adversary of anybody. I come as an adversary to lies and corruption. I come as a total ally to the good people of Ghana who need to articulate how they feel. We are tired of the mainstream media being used to present false imagery. Yes, Pualugu Dam. Oh, Bawumia, mo ahemfuwe mo tete honom. Bawumia okoko John say Pualugu Dam and a omo biggest success story. Obi ekacho say Pualugu Dam na ye the biggest success story. It should tell you who they are because Pualugu Dam is non-existent. Inter non-existent no, and the biggest success story there. That's a wo on hene. O se main Thomas Anipa we there and nana with him we pacho say. Wow, take up no fatwa so mame. We pacho say nana. Yinjimi yo. Ghanaians are some of the smartest people on earth, but because of bad leadership, or fire collectively, now share decisions that we take as a country. Now, as a Jimmy, because check this out: which person in his right sense give the country to my 10-year-old son to run? Onkonko Bula Hospital Engu Niskaso di Besi Fufresi. I can say this on authority. I can call my son right now and ask him, say, a dying esiho. Now opese usifu fro. Esiso. Opese usifu fro opese modernize no. Den na obeya. On can that so me buegu me niska se me di besi fufresi. He's 10 years old. But wako kra wako akudi 80 years so akudi 80 years abu so ye den yo. Ah ti say we nyansa so akubula hospital egu. Ebesi ene ye ni baby aska be fear by the wako sifu fro. National Cathedral, yakotu pit kakraka ya bohoka. We nyansa. Intercept de say yanka enye ye yebeka. Na hefu na motete ho no mampon hene okeka sa ne brofo ni na impotent one de competence we de one e no tell no na asem na oka no kra no tumi say yaka hye na no. Asem na oka no kra Bawumia ka no kra no tumi say yaka hye na no. What you say? Utumi say asem na oka no kra yaka hye na no because hold on, people, please. I think someone is trying to call in the program or whatever. I don't know what's going on. We're not taking calls. But yes, I seen that Bawumia kind of cry. Not to say a script here, man. Now before I go, no, let me end on this one. This is you break it down as someone na Bawumia can, okay? You break it down because I have just 5 points to make on that, and then I'll wrap up the show. All right. So, Richard, I'm still on there. I'm still on there. All right. So yes, I'm still on there, Richard. I'm still on there. All right. So yes, I need to wrap up. Actually, I need to join. There's a meeting that I need to be in. So let's listen to what Bawumia was saying. What can we? But let's break it down and then we wrap up. Right? Okay. Points I will make here. Number one, Wase are the best and most hardworking vice president since Kwame Nkrumah. What a stupid statement to make. Bawumia sometimes okasa, but on Jimmy yo. Menkaso is stupid though. Be say a stupid statement to make, but I'll prove to you, say he's not stupid. If you stick with me to the end of the show, I'll prove to you that Bawumia is not stupid. He acts stupid, and there's a method to his madness. And the name of that madness, the name of that method is distraction. Distraction. Okay, but we'll get to that. Also, are the most hardworking. Bawumia, first of all, now we need honor Kwame Nkrumah time. Into indices bang, indicators bang, metrics bang, and OD measure sa competence index now wo kan no say wo now you the best wo say again na wo dey kire and ka kan ye na ka dey some marking scheme bi ato ho na ahwe ne ho say yampa because wo kwame kroma time na wo ni ho enti one for we ni ehu. It's a benefit of history. What can document be? And I said there's some system there, the measures are there now. Share it with us. News and pampa, now you will see. And yes, idea, it's self-aggrandizement. And the last thing I want is for a bloated, self-aggrandizing person to come in my face and tell me say they want to govern me. Number two, or say he has passed his test as VIP and needs to be promoted. How did you pass that test as VIP? Bawumia, again, now how the passes our test no. I don't know. Unko na nim digitization. Digitization na you lay fiber optics in ama you lay ground planning in ama. Again, no crampo no. Eventually, they had to tell Slowusu to back off. To back off the claim, say on only project because there was a time that the two of them were tussling. Slowusu wanted to claim credit for it, and then that was this guy's flagship too. So eventually, when he made flag bearer, no, Slowusu had to like slide a little bit, you know, for them to be like, okay, all right, so yeah, now, okay, yeah, Bawumia project and Yameme project. It's a then a yama of fans for to say, I would down and say you have passed your thing as VIP. I don't see where that comes from. Number three. He tries to shade Mahama by saying, say, oh, maybe I mean call honeymoon, then people. Obi kasa chira na se ofan se Virginia. And was someone with me can be no. Because we all know, said the comment that Mahama made in connection with the honeymoon, no. He was saying, say, the way a minor esikasem esiatete apansam akwakudu no. Se oba, omo man honeymoon period bia. Or they best set the financial affairs of the country right before projects, legitimate, vital project can start. This is what he was saying. What could him for him? And now no kasa to say sabi omunim yansa. Ye kasa bi so kotutu anoma ho na o de kotre penye bisansa no ma ben ni ebi na Bawumia ye wo ho no because Mahama never said anything about say oba moma ni honeymoon of ankonko da. If anything, Mahama has been president before. He can hit the ground running better than you, Bawumia. You have only been a vice president. And I also catch and say, oh, yeah, mate, they're owning the driving on share. I think I will pay chance at yebi. Mahama so they don't know what drive it out. And to know say, shepa, say, and American, these people, sometimes how they even couch their language in the crampo for their campaign. It's problematic. Who is advising these people? Kofi Tonto. Sit up. Your candidate looks terrible. Okasa Sebi. Right? Okasa same way ya. A reverse effect on your campaign now, you know, because there are some who can also say, who here you can say honeymoon. Who here honeymoon na friends na yen sign and test as vice president that were passing by president there. Now then yen farm will be on why president ni bida. Oh no, but first day in office, owning the structures of government that. Owning where to go to find loans, owning how everything works. Versus who also ye mate after now Babe say Fanny say Obia. Okay, so let's have this scenario. Fanny said driver near Wakakada. I wakorit wakotnefi kakra. Right? What a new car? Open driver the amano. Two people are back. But say or no, or yeah, driver or no wakotnefi, which he can't be other than wakotnefi kakra. Right? And afe no wasan aba say oba be ye obepeka itwi. And a second guy say, oh, me mate to afe na menya ye kan saying. Afe na me ba be ye ye kan saying. Afe na me bepeka ni bi etwi. Right? And if I will can mama. When now they can be manu. Obi a wetwi kan bi da wakotena fie. Our samba so peka ni bi etwi. And obi on so afe no what or ye mate or say or no ajatum say me mate kan no minim twi afe na me be sua twi me be when now they can be manu. And I call your kasa sometimes third point. No, that was it. Fourth point. Or see he hates corruption. Mahumudu Bawumia, I see he hates corruption. Mahumudu Bawumia, who is responsible for gold for oil. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is responsible for gold for oil. I see on corruption. Bawumia, whose wife's name and his brother-in-law's name are popping up in land issues everywhere. No, I see Bawumia, who is a signatory to PDS. Mahmoud Timothy Bawumia, who is a signatory to PDS. I see he hates corruption. Now, she the was cross you can't there no. Or say media me pay corruption. And when they pay corruption? When they pay corruption? Charlie, Nana do dankwa. The burden you they carry right now there. Me I the shy for you, sir. Ye hipini in egwa do dankwa kufa do triso. Because he deserves it. He's the chief thief. Only did him no more bomb mine chronos ano. So when who say okay, and yes, for all that money that I stole, no, this is a small price to pay. Moving me trees. Now wow, Charlie. Yes, but it's the same Bawumia. Or hate corruption. But everybody knows that Bawumia only wants to install himself. And I say the MPP, I won't even say the MPP because there are people in the MPP who don't want to see that happen. The Adudankwa faction, the Adudankwa clique, the Adudankwa cabal, the Adudankwa heist team want to install Bawumia because of corruption. They want to install him to cover up corruption. So don't believe this guy. And thankfully, Ghanaians knows about Bawumia, the Obonidi and the trust in Tro. And I don't believe that they believe any of that. Right? And then the last thing that he says, which is the most ridiculous. And unfortunately, and I make us you should see the visuals because the camera cut to Mamponhene sitting down and clapping his hands gleefully, completely enamored. And he saw say, no the oba, obey 8 years. Na Muhammad the oba obey 4 years. Go sebi. Me pau chose. Sebi Dr. Timothy me pau chose. Because first of all, the Constitution of Ghana does not guarantee an 8-year limit. An 8-year term for any president. It's an 8-year limit, which is why John Mahama went out of office. That's Nkasani Kana and John Mahama and Kamomu Mabana Mbambi Tuno after 4 years. It's a very likely say you can also be a 4-year term president if, God forbid, in the freakiest of circumstances, you became president. But as it is, no, because in himself, when you're president, you will never become president. Like Black Rasta said, and I quote again, you have to put all of us to sleep. You have to put the whole entire country, home and abroad, the Ghanaian diaspora and the Ghanaians at home. You have to put all of us to sleep before we wake up in the next morning and be like, oh, Bawumia is president. Good Lord. Good Lord. Please, God, spare us that. Spare us that. Anybody who believes in God, go to church, go to the mosque, go to your temple, go to wherever, the shrine, bow down on your knees, raise your hands in the air, posture whichever way you posture. If you dab to pray, dab and pray to the God Almighty that you believe in. Say, please spare us, Mahmoud Timothy Bawumia. Because that will be the final nail in the coffin for Ghana. That will be the death knell for Ghana if, through some freak of circumstance, that were to happen. It's about time to go. I've actually overstayed my time a little bit. But let me end on this thing. Please, don't let's get things twisted, though. Mahmoud Bawumia, he's not stupid, though. On Jimmy, yo. Oko jina hon mano you say, first year no mame, na ne kasa kro can or shada kind of some way be to get you to laugh. On Jimmy ye. Or one who say there's nothing to run on. This is the only thing to run on. He has to campaign. There's a budget. There's an over budget. They have more than enough to budget. I mean, more than enough money to campaign. 6 billion cedis now, either what? You can't say no. 60 billion, Mrs. 6 billion, 60 billion, $6 billion. Now, either Bank of Ghana, no. Okay, say him for now. But Bawumia is not stupid, is the point I'm making. Because so be Jonas or Yen who said na he has to fill time. That time, no, and then also the Jan Hokacha say, oh, you buy any a dear way, you buy a yes idea way, yes idea way. Only she or the better. Intina den obey your baby John was no, I say, move first year, no, I say, p, no, I say, why the campaign we all call? Or where so Muska campaign done. He's not stupid. He is not stupid. There's a method to his madness, like I said, and the name of that method is distraction. He's distracting you from the issues that matter. He's distracting you from the fact that Omunya Bibia. And then the next day, the subject, the topic that people are discussing is Mumfasti Edimame. Social media is awash with Mumfasti Edimame. And then the issues are not discussed. The issues of juxtaposing the two, or how many ever people want to present themselves for president, and since okay, this is this person's CV, that's that person's CV, it makes sense to vote for this one and not that one. No, those issues will be ignored in favor of what? Mufasti Enimame. But he's not stupid, and let me prove to you, say he's not stupid. Okwa Asante Hene Honom no, muti the way I know Sikasa no. Now juxtapose that with every other time that you have heard Bawumia speak. Ojina Otumfo enim, onim baby Ojina. And onim the role that Otumfo will play in his campaign, if ever he should even come remotely close to being president. He knows the role that Otumfo plays in that. He cannot go and bullshit Otumfo. Okojino Otumfo enim koko bullshit, and it said that Dodam Kwaye na. Onim so Otumfo is smart enough to see Zakwawe. Won't be funny too. And this is a chance, this is his opportunity to tell Otumfo, say, the more no sana misumedwe me yamoba mon coming shamu because me ba mamo enti do ho no tie Bawumia kasa never compare any other time that you've heard Bawumia speak. Every time Obeka so billion no pepe pentro. We have built more airports than even House of Chiefs no kra no kuja no or can some say maybe best president since Kwame Nkrumah. That is nonsense, right? But to could you not for him no Monte how about Miasikasai, and we'll be rounding up with that.
Mina Mijina Emma Osono Kuku Amanyako sent me the Francatuni for 2024 election yekui. Tia Hadie Uye MPP Nia Ubaha Unim said MPP ne kran na komanyina ewofia. Tia ne yachichiri yekui. Sika yede chichiri yekui efrifia. Ba force ekutu ochiami tumfo ochiami ba force ekutu ena ye share see NLM if you ho other prominent citizens of Ashantiman abe yekui ye pa Professor K Buzia that time no Victor Usu Aram Ponsa Ushia Gantinka Donko Felgio Usha President J. Kufu, Ubina Bebre, Mukaho, Umuchichiri Kui. That time I Bafo Sekutu, NLM, on Northern People's Party, Dombo, Baifakabu, Jatukaleo, Mumuni Bawumia, Numina, Umukabu, Na Gashifumu Muslim Association Party. Togoland Congress Party, Omagina Kabumo, United Party. That United Party, no, na Northern People's Party, NLM, na Umuna Umuwa Hondewa Mupa, Inti, Umuse Yekui, Asantiman, any stream for, na Umubukabo Mupa, Nena Ku, Ye Ebejinale Naiso.
You see? Okay, so you hear a sane Bawumia, you hear a measured Bawumia, you hear a Bawumia who could have courted some sympathy of some well-meaning people if he spoke like this. On my history of MPP, Nanokasa, the tree on Titrio, because on Titrio, I'm a party said tree is not his native language, but his whoever coached him has selected the right words for him to speak. I did not hear him say one single lie in that whole bunch of words. Bawumia could not drop it 10 words. Be I was said in trouble. Akobano. He's standing before Tumfo, and then all of a sudden he becomes sane. Because when him so intimate fan same hunu nkonko jano nkoke kansan sem ne bi ohonum. And so sebi other places, including the House of Chiefs, where he was saying those things that my boy Henry or born in them now. Over to me, the Sans and Libya so the best president, best vice president since in Chroma. Any which ways. All right. So that's it. Like I said, number one, Kennedy Japan. You know what to do with him. Number two, Mahmoud Bawumia. Please ask Mahmoud Bawumia there. Me and Kessa, you know what to do with him. I will emphatically state, if you are a youth and you don't want your country to be mortgaged away, if you want a future as a Ghanaian youth, please never, ever vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Don't be signing yourself away. And like I said before, no, the be sorry, it is a man for a bomb in Kokrafu. You own penny phone and Kokrafu and one then. How about the youth? And let me segue into the into my signing out with this issue. Guru, any the other guy, no, your friends and family, and I'm person my bobby because they be an no. My yes, I didn't be that. Miss kids minimum too much. Into me Kwako Bobby D now, you know. But there's this artist, I think he has a famous song in Ghana, so he's, you know, I don't know his name. But I know Guru. And I saw the two of them. Omoni Bawumia te bass, omoni on stage. You know, Guru. So yeah, you have a Guru as some tongue, because of course we know says for the money. Of course, into your tunisika to you, your two scarbono, into the phone grand tongue. Now what obey influenced by Guru to go and vote for Bawumia no with Jimmy Bruta. And most of my show now over one hour. I've really tried hard to stay away from expletives, but I have to say this clearly so that people understand exactly what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, Ghanaian youth. Nase, oh yeah, influenced by Guru. And Nase, the other guy, no, said nyoma or boy yentino, okwa kudi echire, akwa koto aba ama Bawumia. You are an idiot. No apology. And I don't like insulting, especially younger people, because you give younger people time to make mistakes and correct them. But when some mistakes are going to cause certain things, that's why I am paying forward to guide you along the way. Yes, I cry. Udi just see honoma or no aqua not in Saquaco Sumna, she knows okay, China on funny son sumbium. That's the best experience. But say a Janison, that's a cranibit me aquaco to Janimoa. You will not wait for that to happen. You have to intervene. And that's why we are doing so. People, if you are influenced by Guru or the other guy, no, the other artist, no, to go and vote for Bawumia because you like their music, are you an idiot? Because this person, no, first of all, fana onimumpo, and I've seen many instances fans try to even get close to these people who see themselves as star celebrities, whatnot, and they don't even want to get close to them. They shun them. Into no, Bawumia first kaka, no the kwakomano, no the kotufi, no the kotoka, no the koto dien. Now we would you mechi, no kwako sign, wo future aware. You are an idiot. I come in peace, I come not to please. My name is Kwesi, it's son back on. This has been Weekend Editorial. I'll see you next week, God willing, with another episode. Let's continue thinking about Ghana and doing what is right. Let's be the gatekeepers. Let's defend Mother Ghana, especially from this band of brigands that call themselves the government and then Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. My name again, Kwesi Esonbakwa. Come in peace, I come not to please. One love every time. I'm out.
Serial caller, your mouth is full of baller. Always insulting elder, hungry man, they defend master. At the end of this month, though, no food for baby's mouth, though.